Welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 18th of July. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. As ever, I'm going to give you the overall strands to look out for. Please stay with me. I will then dive deep to give you each of the 12 zodiac signs from Aries through to Pisces in forensic detail. Now, as this week begins, Venus, the planet of relating, but also of loot, moves into the sign of Cancer on Monday. This is wonderful if we want to think about how we can improve our immediate physical environment. So some people are likely to be picking up the paintbrushes and making some changes, perhaps to furnishings, over the next few weeks. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, even the outdoor space could be an area that you try to beautify. But also at the start of this week, Mercury is face to face with the strident and powerful energies of Pluto. Pluto's in the part of the overall zodiac which is to do with the more physical world, whereas Mercury is just leaving its recent home in the more emotional Cancer. So there could be some kind of intense discussion at the start of this week, but then on Tuesday, as Mercury makes its way into Leo, this is a more outgoing, friendly and affectionate sign, and an opportunity to think more about how we can connect and socialise. With Venus in the 4th house now, gatherings in our home environment could prove popular. But the big change this week is the Sun's move into Leo on Friday. And that's because the Sun governs the sign of Leo. But before it says goodbye, it also goes face to face with Pluto. So this clash between what we need in terms of our protection and security, the more nurturing side of life, with that harsher physical reality, it's something that is going to be very manifestly obvious to us all. But I think once the Sun gets into Leo, it's kind of saying, how can we find the inner resources in order to deal with balancing these different elements of our lives? I think it's a lot to do with a general instability that's going on in the world. And part of that is because Uranus, the planet of restlessness, is aligning with the North Node in Taurus. And basically we're getting the kind of consequences for our actions over many years, but because Uranus is the planet of truth and the sign of Taurus is very much about resources, some of that is to do with the cost of living crisis. And the conjunction between the North Node and Uranus will peak next week, and I will tell you about that then. Of course, we've also got Mars in the sign of Taurus too, which technically is not its best location, and that can make people a little bit more sort of resentful and outspoken around financial issues. So we are seeing more activism as people push back against any very difficult conditions that they're living in. So there could be a big flavour of that this week, but I think Mercury and the Sun moving into Leo is really saying to us, what can we do to be more creative, more passionate? How can we bring our personality power to bear in order to improve our situations? Now, I've crashed through the 100,000 mark in terms of subs. I'm keen to get to 101 as quickly as possible. If you'd be so good to click or tap on the bell notification symbol, I'd be most grateful. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. If you would like to ascend above this zodiac broadcast, please give me 3 pieces of personal birth data in time, date and place of birth, and I can give you a roadmap that can guide you for the rest of your life, along with a 12-month personal forecast. All of this is completely unique to you based on your birth data, and there's 30% off with my special package. Please see the link beneath this video. So Libra, your week commencing the 18th of July forecast begins with your ruling planet Venus on the move, climbing right to the top of your situation, the 10th house. Now, you have a reputation for diplomacy and decorum, and you can deploy this superbly over the next 28 days, and that could have a big impact on someone you come into contact with in a professional sense. So in other words, your ability to cultivate contacts positively is really boosted by that arrival. But of course, already in place are Mercury and the Sun, and they've really been pushing you to raise your profile of late and to seek the spotlight. And they are challenged this week by Pluto. And Pluto's in the part of your situation to do with your emotional life and also your security needs. So it's important that if you are having big conversations or you're moving towards your objectives, that you are just mindful of making sure that what's supporting that is all very stable and in place. There could be some tensions between the two areas, home with Pluto and work with Mercury and the Sun. But then Mercury, of course, moves on Tuesday into Leo, which is your sector of friendship. And Mercury is wonderful here for you because it's going to give you more warmth in the way that you interact with people, and your talent as a networker is definitely going to be enhanced by this. The Sun's arrival in Leo on Friday gives you an ability to really focus on your longer term, and the energy of the 10th house is about those immediate physical goals. The 11th house is a more spiritual, idealistic transit. So it's kind of saying to you, where possible, connect to other people in the weeks ahead. And there is a fantastic link between Mercury and Jupiter later this week. Jupiter in your sector of relating. So there could be one key person that you encounter or a contact that you develop, and the conversation between you can be very upbeat. So there could be some tensions this week. We're all having to juggle quite a lot at the moment in this fast changing world, but you're moving into a time when, you know, your ability to get on with lots of different types of people is really going to be enhanced.